things. So I am Blaze, and perhaps I am Blaze, master of the elements. That would be my stage performance name. But this is a very specific video response for David Dellman. Definitely check out his videos. Great commentary videos talking about magic as far as stage and performance magic goes. Now, those of you who have followed my channel for a while, I actually started this channel out by doing magic tricks and illusions, and I also, of course, talk about spiritual magic, ritual magic, things like that, actual real magic versus just trickery and stuff. And of course, I do have, and I'm not going to show you a close-up of these, I do have 2 rows of books on actual magic. Those are Magic the Gathering cards at the bottom, because of course, you know, I'm into a lot of different types of stuff. But this specifically, I wanted to share my book collection when it comes specifically to illusion, trickery type of magic and art and stuff. So the first book I want to share is one that you'll hear David Dellman speak about a lot in his videos, and I do agree with him. Highly recommend this. This is Mark Wilson's Complete Course in Magic, and this is very beaten up. You can see it's this was given to me. So I've been very fortunate when it comes to tricks over the years. When I was a kid, my grandpa had in his basement these books, but it was simple tricks, and some of it was science related. So I'm a big science geek too, believe it or not, which is weird. I'm into religion, spirituality, tricks and illusions, and science. And now science and tricks go hand in hand, because a lot of these tricks are science-based, but a lot of people say that religion and magic, real magic, counteract with science, and I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like it complements it, because as sometimes they say, yesterday's magic is today's science. I completely agree with that. I think the foundation for real magic and science, I think they're hand in hand. I think they're the same, in my opinion. Very, very close. I think there's still some stuff, energy-wise, that you can't explain today yet through science, but I definitely think they're related. My uncle, I remember playing some board games with him, like Mystic Wood, and I remember, you know, growing up watching Labyrinth and all these different types of, you know, Tim Burton movies, and I remember, you know, this one book that I still have here, unrelated again. So I won't spend too much time talking about this stuff. Trying to see if I got that book anywhere. Nope. King Arthur and his Knights, Merlin. And just magic has always fascinated me, is my point. And I was very fortunate that when I was younger, leaning and breaking my arm. When I was younger, I had support from my family to get into and research both real and stage magic. And I remember in elementary school, because I was trying to do these little tricks. I'm like, oh yeah, they're awesome. Little stuff, you know, little sleight of hand stuff was always fun for me. The simplistic tricks, they were just fun to do. You can do them with any household object. And I remember one of my teachers giving me my first magic kit, an actual like kit, because it was her son's and he didn't do it anymore. And she knew a magician by the name of Artie C. Kidwell. And if you know anything about, if you're in the tri-state Kentucky area, I'm in Ohio, but he's actually down in Kentucky now. I haven't heard from him since I was a little kid, but I remember going to Brewery's Magic, which is a shop, and I remember seeing him perform these live and then buying the props and stuff. But these books, the reason I'm bringing them up, and I'll post the link below, David Dellman was talking about the value of buying books versus props. And the reason is, well, numerous. There's so much you can learn in this. You spend less on these and get more out of them. But I've also come to find out that once you learn a trick, the secret, that is actually what is worth money, in my opinion. That is the value you have, because some of these props can be improvised, recreated, or applied in different ways. So anyway, I keep getting off. Let me just get straight to the book. So Artie, I learned some tricks from him, bought some tricks from Brewery's Magic. Always liked magic. As I was going through the years, I was working at a plasma donation center, and one of the gentlemen there, real nice, started becoming friends. He knew someone who used to be a professional magician, and he had tons and tons of props and tricks and books lying around. This book was one of the books that he just gave to me for free, which I'm so appreciative of even to this day. Unfortunately, I don't talk to this gentleman anymore, but yeah, this book is freaking awesome. Now, some of these tricks I have read elsewhere. This is not the only spot that I've read them, but I think that's the thing. Secrets can live on, and they can be reapplied and reinvented. It even has in the beginning part here, which I'm reading through the beginning part, thanks to being inspired by David Dellman, reading a little bit about Mark Wilson, looking it up. Like I said, if you were into magic, tricks, and illusions, I highly recommend his videos. Really like those commentary videos where he's talking about the history of magic and giving shout outs. Like I just found out the other day, Harry Anderson's a magician. I had no idea. I just knew him from Night Court. It's just fantastic stuff. But yeah, this book, oh, this is good stuff. The next book I want to show you is Scarn's Magic Tricks. That's another one I've got. This one here, I don't remember. I do remember. I remember reading through this. So I skimmed this book, and I found the occasional trick inside of it. But you've got a lot of words going on. You got a couple illustrations, really bad illustrations. The older I get, the harder this is to see. And I don't want to show any of the pictures with full reveals, but you can definitely see some of the illustrations in there. Just really cool artwork. This is one of the books, I can't remember if this was one of the ones that was given to me with Mark Wilson's complete course. Then there is Carl Full's Self-Working Handkerchief Magic, 61 foolproof tricks with 509 illusions. That one's pretty good. I've actually looked through this and got a few tricks out of here that I performed, and I actually bookmarked a few of my my preferred ones, the ones that I enjoyed doing, and that I had performed for folks. So performance-wise, just for some background, I would consider myself a hobbyist close-up magician, maybe even a classical magician. I would say I definitely am interested in exploring the bizarre world of magic with the presentation. That's what I was saying. Master of the elements. So I was thinking first and foremost, when I speak, I should speak with authority and slightly over-dramatize for the purposes of entertainment. And to make it very clear to anyone, if I'm making videos or doing performances, obviously I talk about real magic and I talk about trickery and illusion, which, it is actually, that's real magic too. Tricks are real magic, and the reason they are is because there is that mystifying moment of awe-inspiring. How is that possible? It makes you feel young and like a child again, and you feel like anything is possible. And to me, there's a magic in that aspect of it. Even though the mechanics and the tricks might be trickery and illusion and misdirection and foolery and skill and sleight of hand, it is a type of magic in its own right, in my opinion. This was a book that was bought for me back in 1994, and it has my first name here. So, Grandma and Grandpa. It was my mom's parents. Okay. So, Houdini was a great magician and a great escape artist. After you read this book, I hope you get inspired to also do great things. You have it in you. All you have to do is use the talents you have with you. Luck and happiness, good health, Grandma and Grandpa. And this is, like I said, back in 94. The reason I'm looking at it like this, let me cover up my first name, because I don't like going by my first name. Blaze is my middle name. I like it. But this is actually a book that is called The Life and Many Deaths of Harry Houdini. And I don't have the cover anymore, so it actually comes with a cover. But it is a really cool book. Really cool pictures. I never read the whole thing cover to cover, unfortunately. I really should. But I did read through quite a bit of it. I mean, Houdini, who doesn't know the name Houdini? I mean, come on. Finding out Harry is a very popular magic name. But anyway, that's one of my books. Here is a DVD which I thought was a lot of fun. And it's, again, I've had some of this stuff for years, so I apologize for the condition. But this is a DVD. It's called Anytime, Anyplace Magic, starring Michael Amar, the magician, one of Magic's best teachers and Magic's #1 bestseller. So I don't remember all the tricks in here off the top of my head. I'm sure if I watched it, I'll be like, oh yeah. But it just, this is what the DVD looks like. And I remember it's a couple little simplistic tricks. I do that. I'll go and I'll practice some tricks and I'll forget about them, and then I'll come back to them later. This one here is one of the books that was given to me. It's called Magic Stage Illusions, Special Effects and Trick Photography. So I never read this one at all. It's just been sitting on my shelf, unfortunately. But it's another one of the books that I have, completed and edited by Albert Hopkins. And definitely looks interesting. There's just so much to read, and I have too many little hobbies and side talents that I bounce around too much. So, and the reason I'm sitting on the floor, I'm going to put these back on the shelf, and maybe one of these days I can show you my actual Magic books, but for right now we're going to stick with these. This is Cub Scout Magic Tricks, Magic Puzzles, Stunts, Games, Boy Scouts of America. This was one of the books that was also given to me. I never read this one. It's also been sitting on my shelf, but here's another book that I have. Again, some of these are old ones. It really makes me want to look through them again. This one, where did I get this one? I think this is one of the ones that I bought from Half Price Books. It's called Abbott's Encyclopedia of Rope Tricks for Magicians, compiled by Stuart James. And I have thumbed through this one. So this is one of the ones that I actually thumbed through to find tricks that I liked. And it has, and this is, like I said, this is used from Half Price Books. Anyone who's not heard of that, that was a used bookstore. So, yeah, even the cover is falling off. It's kind of sad, the conditions. I hate books being in bad conditions. It makes me cringe. This one's Scarn's Magic Tricks by John Scarn. Now, this book I had started thumbing through. I didn't get very far into it. But this is one of the books that was also given to me. This one here, I don't remember who bought this. This was a gift. The Royal Road to Card Magic, Jen Hugard and Frederick Brow. If I'm pronouncing that right. Magic, Fun for Everyone, Bill Severns. And this is one I don't think I've ever opened before. I don't recognize any of these. But I've got a lot of stuff to go through, and I don't know where to start. This I know for a fact my dad bought for me, and I can't believe the condition it's in. This is probably the one I was thinking of earlier. I remember, so my dad used to own a condo on Myrtle Beach, and I know when he went down there, there was a magic shop on Barefoot Landing, and I actually went there myself. It introduced me to quite a few tricks. I had just purchased the Hummer flying card. Fantastic illusion. You can check out some of my older videos. I do perform it. It's where the card is literally spinning and floating in midair, and you can drift it around and make it circle your body and all kinds of cool effects. But I went there and I remember looking at some of their other tricks. They had one that was similar, but it had lights on the end of the card, so it looked like a flying saucer, I guess. But I didn't buy it because, again, once you have the basis on how stuff is done, you don't necessarily need the prop anymore. And this, once you have the method, you can apply it however you want. I found out later that trick literally is the Hummer's flying card with lights on it. So the trick to buy it, it's like $8, but it's like once you understand the method, you don't need to keep buying it. It's just a different version, repackaged, relabeled. Again, why books are probably valuable, and this is why, again, checking out David Dellman's video, which again I'll link down below, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know, probably should dig through this treasure chest of information. I just don't know where to focus, so I'm starting out with Mark Wilson's, and we'll see how long it takes me to dig through. Because I'm also going through the OBOD Bardic grade, and I'm reading some fantasy novels as well. And there were some other books that I had picked up and put down. I had started reading the Book of Druidry by Ross Nichols and Essential Alcitru. I can't see the author's name from here, but these I usually thumb through. But anyway, so the one that I know my dad gave me for sure, the Encyclopedia of Card Tricks by Gene Hebert. And like I said, it's in terrible condition from me moving stuff around. This one was brand new. I have no idea how the cover got this bad, but it did. So here's the thing. When it comes to card tricks, I can't spring very well. I just started recently trying to learn it. I've got a terrible back palm. Card production doesn't go very well. Fanning is inconsistent. I'm just not a really good card magician. I typically like levitation and floating effects, fire effects, and some of the old classic ones. There's other ones that I do. I probably have, I don't know, my trunk over here, I probably have 300-400 tricks in there. I like banishes too, and coin magic, rope magic. Here's another one. I believe this one was also given to me with the large group. Maybe. I don't remember cracking this one either. But this is Magic Tricks and Card Tricks. This one here. I've never cracked this one open either. And I can't remember where I got this one. This might have been given to me as well with that. Like I said, they gave me a stack of books and props. Really, really cool. Really nice of them. 100 Houdini tricks you can do by Dunninger. And this has got some gorgeous illustrations on the inside, which again makes me interested in kind of thumbing through this. See, I love old pictures. I love it. I love these old pictures, and I just think it's so cool to hang on to these old books, and I do want to read them. I do. I want to get through them eventually. I want to read them, but something like that ripped a little. But yeah, that's a good one. This one, I have looked through this one, and again, you'll see all these little pieces of paper on my favorite effects. And this one, I don't know. I would actually put this on a list worth reading, probably up there with Mark Wilson's. Now You See It, Now You Don't. Lessons in Sleight of Hand by Bill Tarr, illustrated by Barry Ross. Check that one out. Now, the reason I like this is, first of all, the sleight of hand you can apply to almost anything. But second of all, look at these pictures and illustrations. They're kind of, to me, the pages are falling out. That is not good. Yes, I remember this one too. It's definitely an older book. I got this one probably used. I swear I don't abuse my books. I'll show you some other books sometime that are in great condition and shape that are old, but this is not one of them. The boomerang card effect. I remember practicing this one. I can't get the boomerang out that far, but I was kind of able to do a basic boomerang. But yeah, he gives these wonderful illustrations in this book. Definitely got some good solid material from this that I've used in my routines before. Yeah, the peel away fan. Yeah, this is where I started being able to do the fan techniques and stuff. This is good stuff. This is a good book. I would recommend this book. I wish there was a better copy that was in better shape, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll move on. I hate seeing these books like this. This one is Dunninger's Complete Encyclopedia of Magic. Thousands of mystifying illusions, including sleight of hand tricks, telepathy stunts, spirit writing, card tricks, and much more. And you got some really cool illustrations on the back. This one I haven't had a chance to crack open yet. But there's a very interesting setup on the inside of how these pages are laid out compared to some of the other ones in the way that they show the methods and stuff. But again, I have not had a chance to crack this one open yet. That is there as well. Then there is The Golden Book of Magic by the great Merlini, Clayton Rawson. Amazing Tricks for Young Magicians. This one I opened, and I think it was the child. Nope, that reveals that trick. And I actually know that trick. This is the 3-card Monty. Great trick. But yeah, it shows you how to create the trick and then how to use it. But yeah, very interesting illustrations. Definitely an older school style to it. I wasn't a huge fan, but maybe I did thumb through this. Some of these look familiar. Maybe I just knew them from elsewhere, but it is definitely an interesting book for sure. And then the last one, before we get into my box of magic, the Encyclopedia of Magic and Magicians. And this one I got from Half Price Books by T.A. Waters. Still got the label on there. Still got it. And never had a chance to get this one. Nope. But kind of cool reference material stuff going on in here. So, yeah. Me and my obsession with seeing these old pictures and stuff. It's just really cool. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's got a lot of the old famous folks. That's all it is. It's like a list of them. So that's kind of cool too. So I guess there would be a reason I wouldn't have cracked that one open too much, just to thumb through it. But yeah, that's my book collection as far as magic stuff goes. And let's talk about my Box-O-Magic. So anytime I buy a proper effect, the directions go into the Box-O-Magic. Now, once you dig past the first couple, so Trick here by Royal Magic, Easy Magic Presentations, here's the Easy Magic Steel Ball and Tube, oh, this is a great effect, Stop Smoking. You take a cigarette and you slide it into a tube. And first of all, you show the tube, it's empty, you slide the cigarette in, and you put the lid on, you snap your fingers, you tip it out, and the cigarette shrinks teeny tiny. Awesome effect. People love that one. And then, of course, D-Lights. Gotta love the D-Lights. Good stuff here. The Phoenix Fire gimmick with the Phoenix Fire gimmick. That is a highly recommended one. Fairly expensive, but it's worth it. And then once you get past all of that, the rest of this is all tiny papers. Little bitty papers. I think some big pamphlets. Oh, Pyrus. That's the one I use all the time. I love the Pyrus. That is some good stuff right there. That is a but again, once you know it, you don't need to mess with it. Let me pop out some of this stuff because I think you'd appreciate the age on some of these, because some of these are old. Like I said, I had some vintage stuff given to me when I was a kid, and I've collected this stuff. And you have these old little paper directions here that show you how to do them. And then, of course, this is entire stack here is money stacks. That's actually not directions. It's actually a trick with the envelopes. But some of these, like the Chinese sticks, and this is a different variation. Instead of normal Chinese sticks, these look like the classic magician wands. But yeah, look at some of this stuff. This is just, it's wild. This is that one magic trick there and how it works. Some magic work directions, because I kept all of these so I could remember how to do them. Just in case I wanted to peek back through. Yeah, I've got some magic works stuff. Some of those are self-working props. You don't need to learn how to do them. And I think that's the key thing, and that's part of putting your own spin on this, is you can take an effect that everybody else does and do it in your own method and your own way, with your own story, your own pattern, your own presentation, and make it something really unique and special. It's sad, though. I look at some of my videos here on YouTube, and I cringe because I was still new at making videos, and I'm just like, oh, I could do so much better pattern now. I think I'm a much better speaker than I was when I first started doing this stuff. Here is to give you some some insight into how old some of the stuff is, right? Hiram's the hilarious Haunted Hanky. That was one of the ones that was given to me with some of their stuff. The double off color change hankies. And I have those tricks. And I still use them. I still perform them. They're great stuff. They're good stuff. But yeah, just all of these different old vintage stuff. And, you know, some of these are falling apart and in bad condition. Some of them are decent. Some of them are just literally look like printouts of paper. And it's nothing but words. Some of them have illustrations. But it's really, really cool. Really cool. I like this stuff. And that's why I hang on to it. That's why I have my box of magic here. Now, once I dig into this a little bit deeper, you'll start coming into stuff like the Raven. And this is how the Raven works. And I tell you what, this is one of the coolest things that you can get. The Raven is really awesome. Awesome stuff. But again, it's all about the presentation. I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't get the Raven 2. I would get Raven or Raven 2. I'd get one of the two. I wouldn't buy them both again. I did, and I regret it. This here, big old pamphlet on the steel ball and tube. But again, you can find some of the stuff in the bigger books. Such a cool effect here. Twisted Sisters. Again, this is an example of a great effect. Fantastic, but is listed in the bigger books. Then I have this one, Flash Paper Tips, and it's an entire pamphlet here on flash paper. Now this I don't remember where I got this. I think I bought this at a magic shop. It was $3.50. Easy magic stuff, and yeah, no, it's an entire pamphlet on it. Now that's some cool stuff. The Milk Pitcher Magic, which came, I think, with a lot of... Oh, there it is! There it is! I still have the books for my grandpa. That's awesome. I was worried I didn't have those. So apparently I've got some tiny books shoved away in here. I'm not to that yet. This is the Milk Pitcher Magic. This is the first 2 magic books I ever read. This is what got me into magic back in... How old was I? I don't even know. So I was born in 81. So this is like... I don't know, either late 80s or early 90s. I don't know. I think in the 80s. It had to have been in the 80s. There it is. That is one of the first books, and this is from my grandpa's basement. So he had a book collection down there of a lot of old books from when my parents and aunts and uncles were growing up. So if my aunts and uncles are looking for this, don't tell them, because I don't think they watch my channel. But if my dad or my mom sees this, don't tell them, because it's mine now. But that right there, this Fun with Magic Tricks, compiled by Robert Vitarelli? I don't know. Maybe you can make that out. But, yeah. Oh, I remember reading page after page after page. This is what got me started. This is what took me from wanting to do... Like, obviously, there was tons of stuff, you know, superheroes and video games and comic books and toys and cartoons. There's tons of stuff that got me interested in magic, but this is when I first started doing it myself. This was the other one, Magic Made Easy. This is the other one from my grandparents' basement. So, this, yeah. This is... Anyone who's seen these books, these are old ones. I didn't realize they're at the bottom of this. I was looking for them on my shelf, and here they are, tucked away, nice and safe in the box of magic. Map of Skull Island. These are some more, the Crystal Cleaver. Those are some more Magic Works type kits. And I don't remember if this is the kit that I bought or was given to me by that one teacher. Junior Magician's Magic Show, 50 Exciting Tricks. See, I almost think that if you were to buy a kit, something like this, 50 tricks for the full kit, and then have these illustrated instructions, which I still do some of these tricks to this day, because this is where I started. The props that came with this kit, if this is the kit I'm thinking of, I still have that wand. Yes, I do, and it's such It's so cool. I still have that as well. So I still have, yeah. This is a kit that I had, and like I said, I don't remember if it was one that was bought for me by my parents because I was a kid, or if it was one that was given to me by my teacher when I mentioned Artie. But even though the props are garbage props and falling apart and they just don't survive, once you learn the effect, you can reapply those principles and methods and remake new props and do them in new and fun and exciting ways. So this is 101 professional card tricks, and this is with a kit. And I still do these tricks too. These are still mind-boggling. One of my favorite is there's a presentation in this of the 3-card Monty, which is my personal favorite. Now this actually comes with a deck, and the entire deck are prop cards. So it's not an actual deck of cards, but it's all the cards you need to do all these tricks. And I still have it. And I still, like I said, I still perform some of these because they're great. One of my favorite ones is a 3-card Monty, and you have a 3 of diamonds, and you have 2 aces, I believe it is. And you, of course, the 3 diamonds is your money card. That's the one you want to follow. The fun part about it is you show the 3 cards, you turn it backwards, and you take out the 3 diamonds. And then you show the other 2 cards. And you show there's 2 cards in your hand. You lay those down. And the face down 3 diamonds, you ask them, can you, obviously I already jumped past part of the presentation, be like, I'm going to test your memory out here. I'd like you to take a look at these 3 cards and see if you can memorize them. Try to memorize these cards. And you turn it over and put one down. I want you to see in your mind that card. I'm even going to make it easier for you. Check out the 2 cards I've got left. Okay. Yeah, there's 2. Put those down. Okay. I want you to tell me, what card is it that's on the table? And of course, they're like, oh, the 3 diamonds. And then you tease them a little bit. The what? The what of diamonds? No. Say it again. 3? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to pick on you, but are you sure you're saying that right? No. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. It's not pronounced 3. It's pronounced tree. You flip it over. It's a 3 diamonds. It's awesome. It's great. I still to this day remember the eye bulging reactions to seeing clear as day the 2 aces and the 3 diamonds, and to have it right in front of them just like that transform. Great effect. Anyway, that was one of my favorites in there. This one's 125 magic tricks. Again, a pamphlet, great pamphlet. I still use a lot of these tricks to this day. They talk about techniques in this, which is kind of cool. Like, this is how to do the double lift technique, or the, the odd or even, the joker here, trick that's a little spotty, spectator gets in the act, the joker. So that they have like all these different stuff, and they show you how to do it. Wipe the pip. Yeah, no, this is some good stuff. And this is one of the first tricks, like sets, that was bought for me by my parents. I remember it very distinctly, and I hope I still have my terrible top hat. So this, I have used this right here, hat full of magic. This kit was used in my first show that I ever did. Now, when I was a kid, and even growing up, I didn't do a lot of tricks and performances. What I did do, though, is I did things for family. So I remember performing for my school class, because who doesn't like magic? Don't answer that, because if you don't like magic, you can just go away. But I remember performing these tricks at a day camp, because I used to go to a day camp for summer camp. I remember doing it at school. I did some birthday parties. I did some Boy Scout. They had like a get together. It was like a Boy Scout birthday group thing. I remember going to that once. I remember performing these at a nursing home. I volunteered in a nursing home when I was a kid. I only did about maybe 10 or 15 shows. It's not like I was a professional magician or anything, but I do remember performing, and I remember very well a lot of the tricks in this. There's this hat here. This is 45 amazing tricks, and I still do these tricks here. I still have them. A lot of them are really crappy tricks that are falling apart, but I remember this box of dust, which I should still have, and this big, big, gaudy plastic hat. I remember how excited I was as a kid. I have a picture, which I need to find and probably show. I don't know where it's at because it's a photograph. I'd have to scan it. But I remember having the picture taken of me. So I just started growing my hair out. So I don't remember how long. It was probably like just past the ears, starting to get down to the chin a little bit. And I remember wearing my black slacks, and I had really nice fancy polished shoes, and I had a button-down white t-shirt, and I had a bow tie. It was a clip-on bow tie. I think I still have that bow tie from when I was a kid. And I remember that big plastic. It was a big, thick plastic top hat. It wasn't a real top hat at all. And I remember wearing it. I remember them telling me to turn it slightly to the side to give it more of a fun look. I remember standing there like with my wand in my hand and doing this presentation. I remember taking that photo, and I still have that. But I remember how excited I was because I felt like a magician because, you know, I had the button-down shirt, I had the bow tie. That's how a magician's supposed to look. I still have a black bow tie now that I'll wear on occasion if I'm doing a performance, but I haven't done a performance in years. But I remember he got this box, and I had it filled to the brim with flour because flour was cheap and it was easy. It was sitting in the kitchen. Maybe it was baking powder. It was flour or baking powder, probably baking powder, because I think the flour would have attracted bugs, so I think my mom recommended I use baking powder. And it's like this full thing, and I remember that you used it to sprinkle dust inside the hat and pull a rabbit out. So of course I had a stuffed rabbit, and it was my first rabbit out of the hat, and I still remember people's expression of, like, you know, this empty plastic hat and then pulling it out. I remember the inside, it had a elastic band rim to try to hold it onto your head. But all just good memories, good memories. This is another little trick prop. So it was a traveler magician. I think I still have that somewhere. I probably have to dig through my trunk. And it's a little stage. These tricks weren't as great, and they're falling apart already because they're made out of cardboard and stuff. So I don't recommend this group here. And, you know, showed you some optical illusions and different types of stuff that you can work with. This was Pressman Toy Company. Definitely like one of those little generic ones. That's it though. That's finally at the end of the magic box here with all of these books and stuff. I'm actually really glad I did this video and shared some of this stuff because, man, I tell you, just going down memory lane and remembering some of this stuff, just a reminder of how much I love this stuff, how entertaining it was, and how enjoyable it is to just do it, to just do magic, to do tricks, to have fun and entertainment, and to share that joy and that childhood wonder. You know, when you're a kid, anything's possible. Magic's real. You know, magic can happen. And when you're an adult, it's not possible. It has to be explained. It doesn't matter. When you see a magician perform, especially live, and you see it right in front of you, and you see this impossible effect happen, it just brings you back to this wonderment where anything is possible again, and you just enjoy yourself. But anyway, thank you for sitting down memory lane with me. Again, check out some descriptions and links. Sorry this video was so long, but I didn't realize how much I still had sitting away in my magic box there. I thought most of it was loose papers. It shows you how to do tricks. So thanks for watching. Remember to thumb up, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications. I'll continue to post stuff, and of course I post on all sorts of things. It's not just magic and illusions. So anyway, have a good day.